In 3, 2, 5, 7, 10, 5, 15.
DMT.
You're doing DMT?
No, I don't want to either. That sounds horrible. Get away from me. You're
Actually, sounds pretty fucking freaky.
Yeah, horrible. Exactly. You were right about the Mike Tyson one. I just finished it today at work. So
yeah, it's like, dude,
it was
you
so boring.
Yeah, you spent 3/4 of that shit jerking him off, getting him in this mode about what he's been doing for the past 7 months. It's like you couldn't spend 10 minutes on that and then fucking just talk
what
with
have
him.
you been doing the last 7 months? Training.
Yeah.
That's all that he said. Like 20 times
that
he
must
asked.
be crazy for you, man. Like, how do you feel? Like,
Yeah,
5
how do
times.
you
It's like,
feel?
I feel like I don't want to talk about this when I come on the fucking show with you. I want to talk about aliens. I want to talk about history. I want to talk about this and that.
I liked when he was talking about like the last whatever. He's talking about all the great conquerors and stuff like that. That was
Dude, Mike knows his shit.
He does, yeah. And,
yeah, like it's insane.
But yeah, for the most part though, it was pretty fucking boring.
Yeah, it sucked so bad. But
did you listen to the Miley Cyrus one?
Part of it. I haven't finished it.
She sounds like a 40-year-old smoker.
I used to be a stripper, and then one day I found Jesus Christ, and then I started going to church, and then my child got into drugs. Yeah, no, I know she does.
Cannabis and drugs she was doing, it fucking ruined her vocal cords.
Well, she also had surgery. So, like, yeah, I mean, that'll fuck you up. I know regular people who have had surgery on their voice, and it sounds worse than hers.
Yeah.
So, no, I mean, it is what it is. Like, she
can still sing at least, so.
Yeah, she can. And
I mean,
whatever,
if you're
like
into that type of thing, I don't think she's that great of an artist, but she's one hell of a writer.
No, I definitely jammed out to her shit back in the day at bars and all that stuff.
Yeah. She's a good singer, but I don't know if her style is exactly.
No, I think maybe she'll grow up, but
yeah,
she already has.
She wants to go back to being a country music person now.
Cool, that'd be great. Because country has been shitty since about 2003.
For forever, yeah.
Yeah.
God, it's all stupid, but for sure. So, got the money for the Ishapore 41 musket. I just got to go get it at some point.
Nice.
And then try to find some fucking 410 shells for it.
Definitely should have. I definitely should have gotten a couple of those crates when they were like $150 for 400 rounds shipped.
Well,
they were like for the 410 for the ball rounds, like the actual.
Yeah, he's given me like 3 or 4 boxes of those, like the 20-round boxes, like the.
Yeah, but they go quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
But the one that I have is reamed for American 410 shells, anyways.
Right, but like still, it's going to perform the best with those,
the original ammo. Yeah, the 41 caliber round ball. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, the brass case.
Yeah, I'm interested in shooting it. Apparently, it's not super reliable, that ammo anymore. So, and this has been out of its like container. It's just literally in a piece of like parchment paper. It's not like waterproofed or anything. So it's been sitting in the humidity for fuck knows how long. And we'll give it a try, though. We'll give it a try.
Yeah.
And I'll keep 1 round to add to my 303 British ammo collection.
Did you ever figure out what the fuck that 1 round was? That Winchester repeating arms?
Yeah.
So what did they do? Did they make it for?
Yeah, they made them to be shipped with the rifles made at Savage.
But what about the cantilevered bullet? Like the checkering around the. It looks like a newer bullet.
I'm not sure on that. So, but the casing, I know that they, when the British contracted Lend-Lease to the United States, they also contracted for ammo. So, and Savage didn't have the ability to make ammo, but Winchester did, and so Winchester got the ammo contract, and Savage got the rifle contract, and Long Branch made rifles as well. But basically, all of the ammo you see coming for both the Long Branch rifles and the Savage rifles is Winchester-produced ammo.
But yeah, it's weird because, like, were they just using, like, commercial bullets just kind of All right, well, I guess we got it. Let's put this out into because it came in with military surplus ammo.
Yeah.
So it's not like
or maybe it's just not
yeah.
seated different, or they have different machines that
I know,
do it
it's
a
just
different way
weird.
or something. Yeah, but like it was right because you have it has that knurling on it. Yeah,
The
around the
cantilever
bullet.
is what it's called.
Yeah, the cantilever. Yeah.
Yep. So watch, I gave you like a fucking extremely rare, like $1,000 round,
Yeah.
just because I was like, yeah, get rid of it, whatever.
I have some rounds that are actually really, really rare 303 rounds that were made by Lapua in Finland because Norway standardized on the 303 after World War II for a little while, and so did a couple of the Baltic states.
Yep.
And so they contracted to Lapua for making 303 ammo. And so I have some Lapua fucking head stamp 303 ammo, which is pretty fucking rare. So and they still make it commercially, I guess Lapua does, but very rarely.
Yeah.
But apparently it's really, really, really fucking good 303 ammo, so the Finns really don't skip any fucking measures when they're making ammo. Or anything, apparently. Do it right the first time. But I'll have to look more into why that bullet is the way that bullet is, because it's the only one I have that's like that.
Yes.
So
yeah,
it's interesting. It's very interesting. Or I wonder if it was something where, World War II ended and they just had a fuck ton of the brass left over, and they just started throwing commercial bullets in it and threw it onto the market. Or something like that. Could be anything.
Right. Yeah, I was fucking reading Discord. Hold on for a second.
But I'm glad Winchester improved their ammo reputation after World War One, though, considering all the fucking guns they blew up. So fucking 1917s, 1903 Springfield. Oh, it turns out we're just double loading it, basically. Oh, our bad, I guess. And then the US is just like, don't do it again. Okay. Oh, man. The stuff people get away with when the US really wants to kill people, it's absurd. Even going that far back.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, war profiteering. Like,
Yeah,
seriously.
they didn't even. But like Winchester didn't even get in trouble for that. They hardly even got a slip on the wrist. They're just like, "Hey, you better not do that again."
Well, no, they actually. It wasn't even that. It was. Well, we already made this kind of stuff before the war, and we just got approached, and we had the machining to do it, and we just made it.
Yeah, but their ammo was double loaded. Some of their 30-06 was almost double loaded. It was so fucking hot, it was blowing up 1917s.
That's like a supremely isolated couple of cases.
Yeah, but like it was enough to where that's where they traced it to. All of the ammo that was blowing up the guns, the 1903s and the very few 1917s that blew up, it was all Winchester ammo.
Yeah, I mean,
and the U.S. went to Winchester and they were like, "Don't do it again." And they're like, "Okay." And that was it. That was the end of the whole thing. They didn't get
I was talking about
anything.
war profiteering. I'm like,
Yeah.
So that whole thing was, don't do it again.
But that's why all those 1903s were blowing up. They would have been fine if the ammo was loaded right, but some of that Winchester ammo, certain batches of it, was damn near double loaded.
Well, what's weird is underloading a cartridge is actually more fucking dangerous.
More dangerous than, but like with the heat treating methods that people were doing it by fucking eye, until
for a while. But still, it's like, how many of those are floating around and have been floating around in Bubba's fucking gun safe that have been killing deer
for forever? But like, that's people, they're always like, the low serial number ones are so bad. I'm like, no, if they were gonna go, they would have went 100 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then I did a whole video on that fucker, so I don't want to revisit that. But like, I actually have a video too from like 2014 or 15. It's a while back. I was down there in North Carolina with Alden from the Mosin Crate. Alden Mosin Crate, themosencrate.com. And No, he had a low number 1903 that maybe somebody that's watching actually bought. We went out and shot it, and I shot that fucking thing like it was meant to be shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was.
It's fine. Yeah. I don't know why people are so obviously do reading on shit, but like with my FR8, you know, like people were so concerned about the head spacing on those blowing up, and it turns out it's not even the FR8, it's the FR7 because it's the small ring.
Right.
But because they look so similar.
Yeah, but even that, like a small ring Mauser action is gonna be.
So I'm not gonna shoot surplus fucking 308 out of it. Anything commercial, they're like it's fine.
Oh, you get that kind of mixed up. Commercial is 308, surplus is 765.1.
Yeah, but I'm just going off of what everyone here who is mostly American goes by.
No, but I'm just saying you got that.
Yeah, they're two different things. I get it.
Yeah.
The NATO is 7.62 by 51 millimeter, and the commercial.
And that's the less powerful cartridge.
Yeah.
Than 308.
So I won't shoot. I was like, fine, I won't shoot 7.62 by 51 out of it. I'll just shoot commercial like Federal 308, and it'll be fine.
Nope, you have that backwards. The whole stigma is 7.65.1 is loaded to a lesser pressure.
Everything I said was they're like, don't run the military surplus out of it because it's a higher pressure.
Okay, and here's the thing with 5.56 as well, 5.56 and 223.
Yeah.
It's like, apparently they say the military shit is higher pressure, and then all these other sources came out and said, no. The commercial 308 and commercial 223 are higher pressure because they're hunting rounds.
Yeah,
than the military rounds.
That makes sense. That's how most of it is, but it also, I feel like it could be a batch-to-batch thing. There's probably some military rounds that are hotter and some that...
I have honestly, and I'm not giving any sort of official advice or recommendations, but personally with 5.56, 223, 7.65.1, 308, I haven't had an issue.
Yeah. But like I've never had an issue either, but you still do read up and do homework. And like I'm obviously not going to through my Gewehr 88, I'm not going to run Turkish through it.
Yeah, I've run Turkish through a Gewehr 8805. I have a video that's still up on YouTube of that.
Yeah.
The bolt stuck because it was too much for the action.
Hot ammo. Yeah.
It was too much for the action, but it still worked.
Yeah, and the rifle didn't blow up. You wouldn't want to be doing it all the time, but you could. So, but like
Yep.
And like with this whole 41 musket that I was reading, they're like, because I've only ever seen them reamed for 2.5. This one got reamed out to 3-inch.
Yeah, for like
American
bird shot.
shells.
Yeah.
But everything I've read is that other people have said they've done that too, and there's nothing wrong with them because the rounds are so low pressure that you really don't.
I never said that it was going to be like a problem. I just the 41 musket balls were like the cartridge that was made for that
gun. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those are actually hotter than most of the American shot shells even.
Yeah, exactly. And
So I'm not too worried about it after doing my homework, but you should always be doing your homework to make sure. But
and it's not any advice or recommendations. It's just what we've seen. Yep.
So. But yeah, I've never had any problems with any ammo, even though that like the FR8, that supposedly they all have tons of head spacing issues. And
see, it's funny because America or the United States is the only country that seems to have a problem with this headspace shit. It's like I don't understand why. Like,
most of the time it's going to be fine, even if your rifle is out of headspace. Most of the time, you're like, as long as it's not huge quantities out of headspace.
Well, you know, if it's out of headspace, you'll get fucking blowback in your face every fucking round.
Yeah, but for that to happen, it's got to be way out of headspace.
That's what I mean. Like,
yeah, like it's got to be like catastrophically. Like you could almost visually see, just closing it, that it's out of headspace.
And I don't understand like what the obsession is. These old farts sitting
People are fucking scared.
And then it gets
perpetuated, you know?
I'm like, well, you understand, like, interchanging parts were a thing in the 1890s, right?
Yeah,
like,
well, even before that, but not super common.
Oh, no, I'm going to say comfortably 1890s. So if I have a Chilean Mauser that was made in 1895 and it has a mismatched bolt,
it's gonna
I'm
be
okay
fun.
with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it was made to the same exact goddamn measurements
Standard
as
as every other bolt. Yeah.
right.
So that's totally fine. And like there is some stuff, like some kind of trueness to that. Like I understand that a lot of the rear locking lug rifles tend to have more headspace problems than the front locking lug ones, but I would never really be concerned about the headspace on a front locking lug rifle for the most part because they're going to be way stronger anyways, and the chances of those walking out of headspace are so slim.
Right. And it's
because
like
they wouldn't lock. They wouldn't be able to lock if they were too out of headspace.
well, no, they would. In some cases.
In
The
some
problem
cases, there
the
is
problem with
exceptions to
headspace
that. Yeah.
is they would lock, but here's the thing is the problem with headspace, like the dangerous shit is so say an Enfield, for example.
Yeah.
I
Very well known for being out of headspace.
But I'll explain it really quick for people that don't understand what it is. And then I have to let this fucking Weasel Horse out because he's whining. I know parts interchangeability has been around for that long, but I'm saying confidently,
yeah,
1890s is when it started being really good.
yeah.
But headspace, so on an Enfield, right? So you have a bolt head and a bolt that's too short. So what happens is the round will chamber. It will go into battery, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But there will be about, a couple of millimeters of the base of the
Unsupported
cartridge.
case. Yeah.
Yeah, the base of the cartridge that will be behind the chamber, outside of the chamber, even though the bolt is closed. Well, what that does, that creates a risk of an explosion happening and the case failing, and the whole fucking round or most of the round blows out in the receiver and the barrel and blows on, inevitably back to the shooter because the cartridge, the casing was sitting so far back while it was chambered and fired.
Yep. So, or more than likely, rather than blowing up, just a ruptured case and hot gas and possibly going blind.
Yeah, it's still terrible.
Yeah, it's still terrible. Yeah, but
literally that is a worst goddamn case scenario.
Pretty much. So.
And it's also a very, again, not giving advice. I'm not a gunsmith. Not formally trained.
Yeah.
This isn't recommendations. You can see when an Enfield is out of headspace when
very
you can see
easily. Yeah.
When you can see a gap and you see a bunch of brass in there when it's chambered. It's like, probably shouldn't fire this fucking thing.
Yep. So for sure, but at least theirs is easy to fix. You could just get a different length bolt head screwed in and
right.
And then if once you get through all the different lengths of bolt head, you could buy a new bolt sleeve, which they're pretty common still too. So.
Yep.
And then you're back to square one. That's all you need to do to fix that. So, and if you are worried about an Enfield, just buy a brand new bolt sleeve and a bolt head, and you'll be fine.
Right. All right, I have to let the Weasel Horse out for a bit. I'm going to take it for about 3 or 5.
I'll talk to the peoples.
All right, cool. All right, Weasel Horse.
Yeah, sorry I'm not wearing any surplus tonight. I'm tired of shit. It's been the busiest weeks of work, so I got what a lot of people call my Justin Bieber hoodie on. I got it as a gift. So, hello. Yeah, the Weasel Horse. That's what I named Cody when I was over there. He's the Weasel Horse. They were trying to figure out what kind of breed he was. I said he's a Weasel Horse. Because he's so skinny, but he's so like tall and he looks like emaciated. How's it going, Kong? Did you win that 380? The 380 Feguvar pistol? Oh yeah. Well, I've been building one for fuck knows how long. I've done so much reading and I have such a love-hate relationship with the Enfield because in order to truly the Weasel Horse is Mike's dog. But I have such a love-hate relationship with the Enfield. Like I love it, but I also fucking absolutely despise the Enfield action. And because to truly appreciate something, you have to both love and hate it. I'm a firm believer. And I've built one from scratch and from just random assembled parts, like parts that literally none of these parts on the Enfield sitting here in front of me have a number except for the barrel and the receiver. The rest are all just parts that were never assembled into a rifle. So, and you have to know a lot to put them together. So, yeah, you gotta watch out. 380. So, like, when I went into buy ammo the other day, the only pistol ammo that was there was, of course, the ultimate man stopper, the widely available 32 ACP. They had just boxes and boxes and boxes of it. Everything else was gone. The 380s, the 9s, the 45s, the 40s, 357s, 38 specials, all of it. The only pistol round they had in stock was 32 ACP. I was like, well, fancy that. But yeah, ammo right now is just so fucking hit or miss. I get it. So, but it won't always be that way. You always get it and just wait, and 380 will come back. So it's not like they're gonna stop making it. Right now, ammo companies are making money fucking hand over fist, just entirely ass over tea kettle. So you gotta like that stuff because they're making so much fucking bank. Yeah, it'll just bounce. Yeah, 30 fucking 22. I'm looking forward to the rain. We're getting rain right now, which is fantastic. Yeah, I know, right? If only you could get the Frommer stop put together. I also got another. I finally got one. I got an actual Canadian-made number 4 bayonet and a Canadian-made sheath for the number 4 bayonet, and I got it for pretty cheap. They're like some of the rarest number 4 bayonets, and it's kind of faint, but it's got the B, and then up here, right there at the tip of my fingernail, is the broad arrow with the C around it. But it's even got the cool two-tone blade, so which I'm super pumped about. Which means I could put my American bayonet, my American number 4 bayonet, in the cool American-made World War II plastic sheath. We'll stop losing parts, Kong. It'll be fine. But once you get it together, man, you're not gonna have to take it apart for quite a long time. And it's truly a piece of history. And like, there's something cool about putting work into a gun and getting it perfect, and getting it working, and having to do all that work to get this end result. And that first shot, when it works fantastically, that satisfactory feeling you get. But yeah, hopefully you have all the parts now. There you go. Yeah, definitely new spring. That's going to help out a lot. There you go. You'll get it done, Con. You'll get it done, and you'll be so happy with it. You'll be like, I see why Devin loves 32 ACP so much. Just go out there and just bip 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 them, with your little lipstick gun.
God, you played the whole like, I'll go pee but not poop game, and then yeah, it took a while.
At him. You're like, God damn it, Weasel Horse. We were talking about how like the only pistol ammo that seems to be available right now is 32 ACP.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, what's wrong with that? The ultimate man stopper, 2 world wars. Come on now. It's like the 1911.
It's like fucking 10 world wars.
Pretty much, it's been in everything. So, but
definitely flexing this shit.
Yeah. That's
not the American flag.
I mean, it's
that's
red,
not.
white, and blue.
I wore that when I was in during the Cold War.
Yeah, that's some pretty cool Texas militia camo you got there, Mike. I didn't know they had their own camouflage.
Yeah, right.
Get it? Because that flag kinda, sorta, if you're retarded, looks like
Texas. So, we don't say the R word, Devin. You can't say retarded on the stream.
Slow people. I'm not saying they're stupid or anything or mentally deficient. I'm just saying they're a bit slow. I'm using it in proper context.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't fall within the community guidelines. The community guidelines. The community guidelines.
YouTube can suck my community guidelines.
Yeah.
So I just finally made Payout again. So whenever that gets here in the next however long, because they're delayed because COVID.
It's not delayed. It's just it's on odd times. Like I get my YouTube money, I guess, on the 21st of every month.
They usually say the 20th, the 22nd is when you get paid. Yeah. So, but I get it every 5 months. I reach Payout. So,
dude, that was me for several years. Actually, no, it was 9 months the first time.
Yeah.
And then it was 8 months, and then it was like 6 months, and then.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We'll narrow it down. I got to make a new video tomorrow. That's one thing I got to do. I haven't put out for over a week now because of work. So.
I may be or may not be putting out the first Cooking with Mike B video.
Yes. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be sweet. People like the cooking shit.
It's not going to be what they think like. It's. I don't know. I don't want to film myself cooking. I just want to film like kind of what I do.
Yeah. That's all you need to do, though. As long as you explain what you're doing, that's all people care about. They don't need fancy thrills. So, for sure. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I bought a whole bunch of chicken because it was cheap at the Walmart. Because, you know, when they get it, a whole bunch of it, and they mark it down because it's about to go bad, and you could get like a whole bag. I picked up 4 bags of chicken tenderloins for $9.
Damn.
Yeah, so I have food for like 2 fucking months now.
Freeze it.
That's what I did. I just whipped it right in the freezer right away, and that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
I started for like. I mean, I didn't make this on this video. You'll see probably tomorrow, hopefully, maybe Sunday. Is like actual just Japanese food, like regular people Japanese food, not this like. I really get sick of like so. I get it. Chefs they transcended the normal and they experiment and all that, but their whole like life is based on creating things out of nothing. It's like, well, if I want to like experience a culture's food, even kind of, I just want like the.
He liked
Václav, you could suck a fart straight out of my ass.
He liked my hoodie earlier too, so I appreciate it, man. Good to hear from you.
That guy. Everybody, if you want to find somebody to like hate on in the comments, that's your guy right there.
But we trained him how to shoot. Like.
I know.
And he had very kind words about us.
Yes. But anyway, so I'm learning. I'm not learning. I've got the ingredients. I've gathered the ingredients to actually do like normal Japanese cooking. I made actual teriyaki like chicken the other night.
Oh, you mean teriyaki?
No, it's pretty good. I actually it's soy sauce, which I use tamari, like the original shit.
Yeah.
The actual soy sauce, not fucking the soy with wheat. Sugar and sake.
Yeah.
Like equal parts.
I like teriyaki. It's too weird.
You don't like it?
No.
But it's salty, it's sugary, and sake is what makes it weird.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like if it was just it's just that it's just that particular mix of flavors. That
and if you don't like it, that's your
Yeah, it's
fine.
So it's not that it's bad. I just don't predict it. But like if it's the only thing there, I'm obviously going to eat it, but I just don't prefer that flavor profile. Yeah.
That's totally funny. It's like I've never actually made any Japanese cuisine at all before. And it was kind of cool to make that, and it was good, like over rice.
Yeah. Well, it might be better too with homemade crap because I've only ever had like the crappy pre-made teriyaki.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing is like I was reading an article or a couple of articles actually from people from Japan, and they're like regarding like adding garlic and ginger to your teriyaki sauce, like they're like it's not advisable, and that's what makes it bad. Like all the pre-made shit that you get has got other stuff in it.
Yeah,
it's not those 3 ingredients.
So that's like, probably what's making it more weird, anyway.
Yeah, because it was just good. Like it was.
I'd give it a try then. You know, gotta try everything. So
it was just equal parts again, soy sauce, sugar, and sake. And it was just good chicken. And it's a method of cooking it too. But and then there's this thing that I just got. One of the key ingredients that I'll actually probably make a video on doing this is braised pork belly.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it's the way they do it. And it's a really common dish because pork belly is like one of the shittiest cuts of pork you can get.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, gonna be doing that, and then a bunch of other dishes with there's so many that I saved, and like Japanese curry, like actual Japanese curry and all that shit, and that's actually a pretty new dish.
Are you gonna try to make ramen? Like from scratch, like get the bones and shit, and like make actual ramen broth and like noodles and.
Maybe I don't know.
That's a lot of just waiting. It's not hard. It's a lot of time.
But yeah, so it's like I started with like the Indian stuff, like the basic bitch Indian stuff. I did some. We'll just say, well, it's actually Asian, I guess. What I told you, the video is going to be on. So it's Asian / European.
Yeah.
No, I actually made earlier this year I made bigos, the Polish hunter stew.
Yes, you were telling me about that, and that looked really good. You showed me that.
That was fucking good. I put too much salt in it, I think, because I underestimated the amount that the sausage and all that the sauerkraut
all that other stuff adds to it. Yeah.
But other than that, it was fucking delicious. And then but so I'm gonna try to make, like, this winter I'm gonna do a bunch of stews, like, from around the world.
Oh yeah. Well, stew is such a hearty meal too, and it's gonna be a cold as fuck winter. So.
Well, I was reading the Farmer's Almanac. It says, yeah, we'll see.
The scientists currently say we're gonna have a really fucking cold winter. So.
Scientists say we were gonna be dead 40 years ago from global warming. So.
That's fair.
That's fair. But no, there's a stew I'm gonna make too. I will make a video on this. It's a stew I had when I was in Iraq a lot. Tepsi, but I can't pronounce the next word. It's basically an Iraqi like stew with eggplant, some kind of meat, tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers.
What's an eggplant again?
Really?
I might know it as something else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a different name. It's purple. There's a couple different kinds of them. It's purple, but it looks like a purple squash. They can be big. Right? They can be. Yeah.
An aubergine.
Yep.
Okay, that's an eggplant. Got it.
Yeah, I know you're
I think
snobbish.
I knew that. I think I knew that actually.
Your snobbish French, shit isn't too much.
That's just European. That's not just French, but.
Well, it's most of the rest of the world. We call it eggplant. But
yeah. So like that's just I think I knew that, but I just wasn't drawing that connection.
Yeah. So it's basically it's that and a bunch of other shit stewed in a certain way, and I ate it a lot over there because I actually never got sick from it.
Because they do everything fresh and they don't put any bullshit in it. And
also there's no fucking wheat in there.
Yeah.
Shit.
But you know what would make it better? Gluten and corn syrup.
Yep. Cheaper.
So oh god.
Yeah, but so yeah, that's something I'm gonna make, and I'll probably because I can't afford I can't afford lamb. It's such a bitch to work with.
It's a pain to find, yeah.
So. And that's what they used over there.
Yeah.
Like they use lamb like we use ground beef. It's fucking insane.
Well, that's why I'm glad I have all the cool like halal markets here where I live, because you could just go pick it up forever.
Yeah, well, I'd rather live out here because there's no riots and burning shit down because I'm not in the
That's
fucking
not here
city.
either.
Will be, matter of time. Mark my words.
Fair. That's fair.
But anyway, I mean, I can get it out here. It's just like
it's a pain. It's
there's
like
really
it's a
and
hassle.
really,
You have to go out of your way to go.
honest
get
to God, too. Like there isn't that much difference between a lean ground beef and like lamb. There's a slight.
I mean,
if you really want,
got more gamey flavor, but it's basically the same thing.
But yeah, it's like if you want to be a snob about it, you can make the differential kind of statement, and I get that because yes, there is a difference. But like to me, it's not worth spending that much more.
Yeah, you try using rabbit. Rabbits are cheap.
I wonder. Yeah, I mean,
rabbit can replace beef, pork, lamb, or chicken in most recipes.
Yeah, it's just I don't have a fucking meat grinder.
I love rabbit. Oh fuck, rabbit's good.
Well, I could chunk it, I guess, but there's not.
Yeah.
No, you have to grind.
You have some by your house too, so you just got to go.
I just said I've got. I was literally looking at 3 of them, but
they're also like taking a sock off too. You make that little incision behind their neck, and it's like peeling a sock off. You
could but you have to almost grind that shit to like actually make a big chunk of it because their meat, the meat is like so sparse on there. It's so small.
It's mostly the rear legs and kind of some stuff around the back and crap. But other than that, there's not much on them.
But yeah, anyway, that Iraqi stew was really fucking good, and oh man, it's good shit. And then I'm gonna make a French like a traditional kind of beef stew. It's basically a bunch of it's a shitload of root vegetables and beef with the I can never fucking remember this name.
Like beef bourguignon?
No, it's the bundle of herbs basically.
Yeah,
I can never fucking remember it.
Fuck, what is it now? But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where they have they literally tied together with like like a bale of fucking herbs. Yeah,
and you put it in whenever you're cooking, and then you take it out before you serve it.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's that, and then some other shit, but it's like a good thing. And the common denominator with all these stews is a Le Creuset Dutch oven. Ooh, weird.
Yep, that's right. Well, you love that thing so much. So.
Dude, it's a good fucking piece of cookware. I like it. But
I wish I had a gas range because it doesn't work super great on the electric range as it does on like the gas range.
And that's what I also mentioned in my video that people are gonna probably see tomorrow. It's probably lagging. My bad.
Just a little bit. You're doing okay though. You're doing okay.
Yeah. I also mentioned the difference between cooking on gas heat versus electric is gas is
ultimately preferable, yeah.
And it's immediate. Mm-hmm. If I need to boil something and get it really hot really quick, and the opposite, if I need to get something from burning to not
cool down, yeah. Gas works so much better for cooking, which is why all like true chefs and like professionals have gas ranges. So
because
I have a 60-year-old electric range with the coils still.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sucks.
To be fair, the fucker works. Like it works, but it's still an electric range, which just isn't as good as a gas range. So I'm limited to what I can do. If I need to go from hot to cold really fast on something, I have to like prepare ice water and shit to like put the pan in. It doesn't cool down very quick, like I can't just shut the heat off and stop something from boiling over. It doesn't work like that, because it takes so long to cool down, but you eventually learn your way around it. So
yeah, and also like if you're burning something on electric, you just physically have to take the pot. You have to take but you have to take the pot off.
You have to take the whole thing off and move it. Yep. Yeah, it's like it's a hassle. Yeah, it's not preferable, but I also don't have to have LP. So.
Yeah, and or natural gas.
Yeah. Well, the thing that sucks is like my building has gas hookups. It has a boiler, so it runs off LP that comes from the city lines, but all the appliances are electric.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. So they don't want to pay to do that, but yeah.
So, but like, here's the thing though: they could just subdivide it out. They could put meters in. for everybody.
Yep.
And have LP. So because I have the hookups, like if I pull my stove out, there is an LP hookup behind it.
It's not LP.
Don't have the
it's
meters
not LP.
or
It's
anything.
natural gas.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, natural gas is not LP.
Yeah,
but
it's just a wider, lower pressure tubing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's yeah, but
So,
but no,
they
I
just don't have the meters, so they don't hook it up because they'd be paying for it then.
Right, and luckily both. Well, here's the thing: is the last place where I was at in Minneapolis with Sophie for a while.
Yeah.
They said that shit is included in the rent.
Mm-hmm.
Water is included in the rent.
Mm-hmm.
Electric is your own thing. And so they were just smart. They had the rent set at a place where it was like, even if you get that bitch fucking going 24/7,
a shit ton of gas, yeah,
right? But
we're still making money on it, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is like garbage pickups included. The only thing I really pay for is power.
Yeah, and that's fine. But like, so I'm saying like landlords can do the natural gas thing. They can just. So would you be willing to like have your rent raised like $25 to $50 a month? But you have natural gas.
Yeah, I would pay for that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like that's the thing that needs to be done. But
again, then they also have to buy gas ranges.
I was just gonna say to retrofit it. It would then it would be raised $100 a month.
Somebody to hook them up, and even though our maintenance guys could probably do that, they're pretty old and pretty well versed in everything they do.
Yeah.
Like the one guy that comes into my building, he fixes the boiler all the time over the winter, and so he's probably got some gas experience and some plumbing experience. So
yeah, for sure.
But they'd have to go through and like it was like pulling teeth to get a new air conditioner. So if my building didn't like me so much because I'm the only one who hasn't ever fucking caused a problem, that was my fault. They tend to like me and do everything that I ask pretty quickly. So
but yeah, gas is definitely the way to cook.
For sure, that's why all the professional chefs have it.
So
you don't see here's Gordon Ramsay out there fucking cooking on a coil electric stove
or open flame, because open flame is so shitty.
Very good. I've got enough mess kits. I could cook over a fire very well, but
but it's hard. Like
it definitely takes a lot of management and you have to stay focused on it. Yeah,
dude, and it's like open flame. They cook so unevenly, like.
Yeah, because you get hot spots all the time. It can flare up, it can die down. It's something that needs constant watching.
Even on coals. On coals, yeah.
But if you're constantly watching it and you know what to look for, you can manage it. But it's never going to turn out as good as a gas range.
Right, but I was gonna say, like with the fire, it limits on what you can do because you have to pay attention to what you're making. You can't let something simmer or fry for 5 minutes and then go start another part of this meal. You have to fucking watch that.
Yeah.
And when Townsend's, when they deep fried that chicken over an open flame, I was like, you guys have some goddamn
burn
balls.
That fucking place down. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're outside, but it's like you fucking that's ballsy as shit.
Yeah, but even he was like, yeah, you could definitely cause a fire with this.
Yep.
Yeah. So, but like, that was pretty cool. But I don't think I'd want to like fry chicken over an open fire. But if you're just like doing something in like a pan, like I've made breakfast so many times over an open fire and in like a mess kit and crap. It's easy.
Well, breakfast is actually the easiest fucking meal to cook over an open fire.
It is. Yeah. Because it's so hard to fuck up because you can do everything on relatively low.
And if you use a copious amount of oil like in the bottom of your pans.
Yeah.
Like whatever it is, butter, fucking whatever you have. Yeah. It's like it works. And then
food is very forgiving.
Yes. So. And then lunch food is usually cold.
Yeah.
These are like European cultures, I guess.
Yeah.
Actually, no, in Turkish culture and Iraqi culture, their food was for lunch. They had cold food.
Really?
Yeah, they had like pre-made but cold food.
Oh, okay. So like it was hot, but you can just eat it cold type stuff.
Right. So like they didn't actually cook at lunchtime. I'm just thinking back, like
type shit.
And then
like,
for and for supper, like for the last meal of the day, like, well, not during Ramadan, but they made their hearty dishes and all that shit. But honestly, like thinking on it now, Iraqi and Turkish shit, their supper was actually less hearty than their breakfast was.
No, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and pretty much every culture does that except for the Americans for some reason. So, not that Americans didn't used to do that, but nowadays, like, people are so into grab and go and being on the move and shit. It's like Pop-Tarts.
Oh, yeah, and that...
Yeah.
God,
So,
yeah.
I'm so tired of fucking Pop-Tarts and granola bars being everyone's breakfast. I love to get up and have, like, I make hash browns and sausage and bacon and a shit ton of eggs, and I have vegetables and I have fruit and I have orange juice and coffee and like 2 or 3 cups of tea and like 4 or 5 pancakes. And it takes like an hour to make and it takes like 40 minutes to eat. But like that's one of the few chances of the day I'm probably going to get to eat, so I might as well go heavy on it.
Yep, that's the thing is I usually make a combination of anything that you just said is like hash brown, sausage, bacon, eggs, all that shit. It's no matter what I have, and it's like it's a fucking thick meal.
Yeah, but it's like it's an important meal, and that's where your body's going to get all the energy for its day is right there. So, and Kong, there's nothing wrong with the Pop-Tart cereal. I got it for free, and it's okay. That's a thing now. They make Pop-Tart cereal.
Literally everything you just said, Devin. And don't believe you. Don't care. Don't fucking want to hear it.
Tastes okay. It's not good for you by any means, but they do make Pop-Tart cereal, which I was kind of surprised by. It's like, you're horse fucking me. I had the same thought as you did when, the Kellogg's. I was like, yeah, we're making Pop-Tart cereal now. I was like, you're horse fucking me, right? So,
glad you adopted that phrase from me.
Yeah. I was like, because he's like, isn't that just like you guys just take all the broken Pop-Tarts up the line and throw it in a box? He's like, no. He's like, we actually make little bite-sized Pop-Tarts. Yeah, I was like, no way.
So it's like, I guess what pisses me off about that whole fucking concept and the whole idea and the implementation of it is, you ever seen those like Japanese tiny kitchen videos?
Yeah, where they're like making an omelet, but the 2 fingers are like the size of the pan. Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, nothing. I have like a visceral negative reaction to that kind of shit.
Why?
The tiny kitchen videos. Like I literally have like, I want to fucking murder whoever has thought of this.
What's wrong with that? Everyone's got to have a hobby.
Sure, but like, that's what I think of. That kind of reaction where it's like a visceral, homicidal mentality that I get off of that tiny kitchen shit is what I get when I hear about they just make tiny Pop-Tarts.
Yeah, they just make tiny Pop-Tarts and put it in a cereal box.
Well, I'm going to cut you up into tiny pieces and they're never going to fucking find you.
Yeah, and then we're just going to say chili. You know, yes, but
it's got a wood chipper though.
That's fair. Well,
to any law enforcement or federal, whatever, I'm joking, for fuck's sake.
But like, if you make chili, you could just go to like a church on Sunday or like a soup kitchen and be like, I got a shit ton of chili. Can I serve it? And they're like, fuck yeah, serve it up. And then you just give it out to people. I don't know.
I do have a lot of cumin and chili powder, so I could do that. Yeah.
But I don't think that, the FBI or the local police are going to go through 50 people's shit for human DNA. I'm just saying.
They might if it was something that widespread, because there's a lot of those fucking psychos out there that like make these fucking tiny kitchen videos.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that's on the level of like furries and just shit that's like.
How do you feel about this? Because I have a friend who's an artist who carves in the tip of a graphite pencil lead. He'll carve stuff out of just the tip of that graphite pencil lead, like microscopic. Like he has like big jeweler's fucking goggles. And he carves out like these intricate fucking things into the very tip of a pencil graphite, and they're gorgeous. But like you need like a heavy magnifying glass to see them. So
I know you like them. She was just saying.
You don't.
I like those tiny kitchen videos.
I think they're all right. Whatever floats your boat, right?
Well, she's the one that actually exposed that to me, and then other people. Yeah. But anyway, so the graphite pencil thing, it's like, so
that's his medium, though. He's an artist, and he wanted to be different, and people really like it. So
yeah, until they need to use their money to buy food instead of fucking pencils that have fancy carvings in the tip.
Well, they're just art.
Uh-huh.
So like he'll do it to like take a picture. Like he'll carve this intricate thing into the tip, and then he'll take a picture, and then fuck the pencil. Who cares? It's a pencil. So, but like that's his medium. Is he uses the very tip of a graphite pencil as his medium, and then he takes a big picture of it, and that picture gets blown up.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like if that is where we're at as far as what artists can do to be unique, maybe it's just time. It's just best to end her, bud.
Yep. It's time for Mother
Maybe
Nature
it's just best to
the way of the
fucking
dinosaurs. Yeah.
yeah. Let's just fucking end her.
Let's call it a wash. Yep. Start over.
That's
launch the nukes.
Oh, I'll do that. I don't want the planet to die like forever.
No, it'll be fine. There'll be gophers that'll live, just like what turned into humans in the ice ages. Way back in all the moles after that lived through the mass extinction that eventually became all the mammals. There'll be plenty of those still. Don't worry. And the cockroaches.
So I'm gonna address this once, and I know there's nobody watching. I'm not a Boog brother. You don't understand what you're saying when you're like, I'm a Boog brother. I'm a Boogaloo boy. You don't understand. Oh, it's a meme. No, if it becomes reality,
yeah,
you will not have the fucking balls to face what the fuck the repercussions of that are. You will piss shit and throw up at the same fucking time, run away, and then the repercussions of your dumbass actions of, oh, I want to, Boogaloo, will continue to happen, and then your family and everything will die because you wanted this and you were joking about it, and it became a reality. So no, I'm not a Boog brother that's fucking retarded. Stop talking about it. All right, we're good.
Yeah, you got to make sure you are very sure about the hills you want to die on, and the whole Boog movement is not a very good hill to die on. So,
less than 1% of people in the United States have been in the military. Less than 1% of them have actually been in combat. Or I'm sorry, it's like, okay, what is it? Like 10% have been deployed. 1% of them have been in combat. The rest of these fucking clowns that play fucking Call of Duty and video games and, oh, I'll do it. I bought guns. I have an AR-15. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Well, just for reference, there's like 360 million people in the United States, and less than 1 million of them, which there's still World War II veterans alive, Korean War veterans, Vietnam veterans, all the stuff. Yep. Less than 1 million of them have ever seen combat.
Yep. So.
And even less than that have actually killed somebody.
Right. Exactly.
So, and that's in conflicts going back 75 years now.
Yep.
So
all these people are, oh, Boogaloo, yeah, the electric Boogaloo, it's a meme, it's whatever. Well, this is why, I've gotten out of the memetic culture because that shit comes to fruition because you joke about it enough, it becomes a reality because of this culture.
Exactly. If you bring enough light to something, it definitely exists. And that's something people need to be aware of. It's not good. So but yeah, for sure, we need to stop with the whole, what you guys should do is definitely go out and vote for somebody that you think would be a good leader, not the person just because you don't want somebody else to win. Not, I hear so many people that are like, I'm going to vote for Trump just because I don't want Biden to win, or I'm going to vote for Biden because I just don't want Trump to win. No, go out and vote for who you think is the best leader, and you should definitely do your homework. So that's how voting was meant to be done, not to let somebody win just because you don't want the other guy to win. Go vote do your homework, read up on all the candidates, make sure you're voting for somebody that stands up for the beliefs that you believe in, and vote accordingly. And you should also vote for your local government and stuff. The presidential election actually doesn't affect you anywhere near as much as your local government does. So you should read up on your local candidates as well. So
Hardcore.
who votes? Every patriot and true American should vote. It's something that truly defines the republic system, which is what happens to be the government of these United States of America. So
a republic is not a democracy. Democracy is actually the method of electing officials to represent your interests in the government, which is a republic. Very, very big distinction there.
Yes.
That's our democracy. We don't have a democracy. We don't live in it. If we lived in a direct democracy,
has never been a democracy.
Nope. It's a constitutional republic using democracy as a method of electing officials. It's also an indirect democracy.
Yeah, well, that's what a republic is. It's an indirect democracy.
Right. But democracy, I just want to make this clear, because a direct democracy, well, like everybody votes on everything.
Like all the city-states in ancient Greece where every single person can go to the government and speak their mind. So,
and vote on everything, every issue.
Every single person. But like there were stipulations, like obviously it was a lot of men who owned land and stuff like that. Not quite everyone, but a lot more people than we could support nowadays. So because we don't have the time.
Great. The chat's gonna fucking light up with a bunch of bullshit that people that think they're educated are gonna fucking guns. He doesn't care. Trump's evil.
No matter
Orange man bad. Biden good.
They're not going to take your guns away. They can't. That's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. They can't. If Joe Biden comes in, he's like, I'm going to take all your guns, the Supreme Court's going to be like, the fuck you will, and that'll be it.
Well, it depends on who wins the election and who can stack the Supreme Court a certain way.
That's fair, but it's still unconstitutional. And to be fair, most of the Supreme Court officials,
guess what?
Whether Republican or Democrat elected and chosen based on those party lines, often hardly ever vote along the lines of their party. They actually vote very accordingly to the law.
Cool. But what I'm saying is any kind of gun control whatsoever is unconstitutional blatantly.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has not been willing to hear a case in a long time.
On gun control for a long time, and that is scary. But there is the potential for them to still come through and be like, all this shit is bullshit. Eventually. Will they? Probably not, but...
Well, the thing is, if it gets stacked again... What the fuck? Some fucking idiot with a large truck.
It's fine.
Well, you don't fucking know. You're not here.
That's fair, but... You got guns, you're fine. You got, what, 50 of them?
Yeah, I guess I'm fine. And then I fucking use it and then have to go to jail and then fucking go through the whole process.
I thought that was Wisconsin where you could do that kind of shit. It's not like me. You don't have to run away.
Yeah, you don't have to run away. I was at my third neighbor down on the block's place after I retreated and they still came after me and I shot him and I was found guilty.
Yep, that's welcome to Minnesota, kids.
Yep.
But yeah, so most Supreme Court justices actually vote based on the Constitution and the law, actually, rather than the party they were elected to. There's exceptions to that rule, of course.
Yeah, and lately it's actually getting better. And I'm not saying this as, again, I'm not a fucking Republican. I'm not a Democrat.
Seen a lot of cases recently that I thought they would never see, and they voted very constitutionally.
Well, right, and then when they had, when again, I'm an independent. For those of you that don't know, I'm not a politically.
Me as well. Party. I don't have a stake in either major party, so
I'm more conservative on a lot of shit, but I'm liberal on a lot of shit too.
Exactly. Yes.
I'm not a fucking extremist, so there you go. And I'm also, I don't want to call myself a libertarian anymore because
we're both centralists.
Yeah, centrists. Yeah, and the Libertarian Party is just, I don't believe in political parties at all. Anyway, so all that disclaimer shit aside. This Supreme Court, when Kavanaugh was sworn in, right, as a justice, and they were like, they had the vote on whether to uphold Roe v. Wade, right?
Yeah.
He said, "Well, I'll just go with the Supreme Court decision of that's what was done." So all the fucking leftists, I'm not talking liberals, I'm talking leftists, that said, Oh, he's gonna overturn Roe v. Wade.
And it's gonna be this huge catastrophe. And he's like,
Didn't fucking
no,
happen.
this makes sense. We'll just leave it the way it is.
It is, yeah, it is what it is. Like, fucking leave it.
Even though people were so worried about it, like people gotta fucking understand that the government isn't this whole Joe Biden versus Trump thing. There's a lot more going on with it, and you need to do your homework. Because I know a lot of people who are voting one way just because their family feels that way, or because they read everything the media spews at them, which is oftentimes garbage, and they don't do any of their own homework. Or they, like I said, they vote for Trump just because they don't want Biden to win because they think he's going to take all their guns, or they don't want to vote for Trump because they think, well, Trump's going to fucking start a war or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
The chances of that happening, no matter who gets elected, are so fucking slim. Just do your homework, vote for who you think is the best, and that should be the end of it. So,
yep.
And if that's not one of the major parties, so fucking be it. The U.S. probably would be a lot better off if they would get a third party, to be honest. So,
or just
go to
honestly,
a multi-party system, like
no,
most other
go
countries.
to a zero-party system.
That would be even better.
The only reason parties exist is for funneling of fucking money.
That's right. That almighty dollar bill.
It should be. People should have to. Okay, so here's the thing. It is a right and a privilege and all that shit that people say for you to vote. It's your civil duty. It's also your civil duty to know who the fuck you're putting into office to represent you.
Yeah.
It is your civil duty to do research on people.
Yeah.
And actually go, okay, well, I'm going to read their bio and their brief,
yep.
Shit.
Listen to their debates.
Whose views align with my views the most?
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have anything to do with a fucking political party.
Exactly.
At all.
And now, are you like me, Mike, where the first thing when somebody you hear bitching about politics, do you be like, well, did you vote? And if they say no, then I'd be like, well, then you shouldn't fucking be talking about this.
No, I don't say that because I understand the propaganda system that affects everybody. But and here's the thing: it's
like also, if you don't go vote and you're bitching about the government.
No, but here's the thing:
come on now.
No, it transcends that. It's if you're willing to sit there and talk to me and regurgitate a bunch of shit you heard, which I already know you're regurgitating shit because I also pay attention.
Exactly, yeah.
And I know on both sides who's regurgitating what.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to question if you vote or not because you're too fucking ignorant to vote, and I don't
care
know
how to vote correctly. Yeah, for sure. That makes sense.
Because you don't believe in what you believe. You believe in what somebody else sounded good at talking about.
Or the media is telling you. Yeah.
Right. So, no, that's why I don't take that approach. I do, however, totally just lost my train of thought. So I'm listening to music. God damn it. Why do I do this? That's a good tune.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, so I don't say did you vote, because I can tell right away if somebody's got original thoughts and ideas based off the same facts that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
But they think differently than me. I'm like, okay, I'm willing to hear your.
I'm willing to hear your side of this whole ordeal. Yes.
Like, because obviously you're in reality. Like, I want to know why you think the way you do.
But Mike, Orange Man bad. He's gonna take, and if Joe Biden wins, he's gonna take our guns.
Maybe.
There's gonna be civil war, Mike.
Who knows?
That's all that I hear about. It's like, fuck, you guys are so dumb.
I know, and it's just like I try to remain pretty fucking ambiguous about all that shit because. I mean, I'm guilty of being a hypocrite of
Definitely, but you're also human. You can learn.
Right, but it's like, I think people have fallen for the bait. They've taken the bait. Your individuality doesn't mean as much as your political affiliation and the way you think about politics.
Yeah, well, nowadays that's a big. They have that on dating sites now. Apparently, political.
Right.
So,
a huge thing. Well, no, they've had that forever, but So here's the thing: is if you meet somebody and you have nothing to talk about, what would you talk about?
Me?
Yeah.
Politics.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
That's
Just
bad.
because I like to hear everyone's kind of take on it. Not that I'm, like I said,
No.
not that I'm necessarily on his side, but
So
I
what
like
I'm
to know where everyone kind of sits.
sure, but like so, I'll just ask you one more time and then I'll move on. If you had nothing, like if you just met somebody or whatever, you were talking to somebody, and you had nothing else that you thought you could talk about, you would move to politics?
Well, first things first. Traditional North Midwesterner stuff, weather, then the Midwest, then politics. So,
Okay,
weather,
but
then politics.
so you rewind to about 30, 40 years ago, right?
Huh?
You rewind to about 30 or 40 years ago, right? In the United States. I don't know how it was in other countries.
No.
Politics was one of the last things people would talk about in
Exactly.
small talk.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's good or bad, I don't know.
Yeah, but like a lot of people aren't into my nerd hobbies as much as I'd like to talk about helmets and guns and stuff. A lot of people aren't really into that. So,
But dude, you know more about other things than just that. Like, because my thing
true,
is
but I
guns
like
and
to talk
fucking
about food and crap like that. But like
food.
you've been like me and you've talked to somebody because unfortunately a lot of people our generation don't really fucking know how to talk
Yeah,
anymore, and that's a disaster.
yeah,
I
for
hate
sure.
talking to people that don't know how to talk because anything I say is just like okay. What do you want me to fucking do with okay? Like, what? That's not contributing to this conversation we're having. It's all
Yeah,
one-sided,
yeah.
and so if I've defined talking points, it can very quickly get through all of this list of shit that I want to talk about to crap. So,
No, that's fair. That's fair. Um, but isn't it? But you would you agree that like
politics is something that people talk about very recently. It's a very hot issue very recently. It's one
it's
that's
very
been
hot,
running
and it's
very
like
prominent.
it also determines the course of that conversation or
It
that
certainly does.
interaction.
It certainly does. So,
And I'm definitely guilty of that. Back in the day when I was very right wing, like not right wing, like
yeah.
fucking
Well, I've
super
always
like
been very centralist, so I get along with both sides pretty
right.
easily.
But I was more I consider myself a Republican. I was fucking far right in all my shit, like no gay marriage, fucking weed is the devil, all that shit. Well, not that extreme, but like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah. But like
was
a
not
lot
for
of
gay
right-wing
marriage. Yeah.
ideals, yeah, and stuff like that, yeah.
And it was I thought that way because that's what I think.
Yeah.
I never questioned it.
Yeah.
And
No, I was always kind of like a you do you and I'll do me and we won't do each other type of thing. That was kind of how I
yeah.
lived life for
Well, and
according to politics. So
yeah, for gay marriage and shit like that. But and the thing that kind of like there's a lot of self reflection and all that shit was I realized I'm like, wait a second,
do
why
I
in the
really
fuck?
believe that? Yeah.
No. Even better than this. Why in the fuck is the government involved with a cultural and religious sacrament in the first place?
Separation of
Why
church
is
and
that
state.
even an
It
issue?
should never be getting involved. Yeah.
Well, no, that's not part of the Constitution. Read it. It's
I
not.
know it's not part of the
It's
Constitution. But
suggested, but it's not. But
yeah.
no, my thing is, why do I have to pay the government, state or federal,
Mhm.
money to get married? Okay,
Because they want to
and
make
I'm
money.
like, okay, so translating that to the gay marriage, why should gay couples have to pay fucking money to the state or feds to get married?
Because the state
And
wants their money.
it's yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
Because
it's
money, Mike, money.
but that's the kind of logic I formed, and I was like, well, what the fuck? If they're gonna, wow,
Yeah, money.
that's what got me to think about like, and the whole morality of it. It was I was like, do I honestly give a fuck? I know a shitload of gay people.
Yeah, who
I
cares? Who cares?
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, the only reason it's an issue is because of the money issue.
Yeah, money.
And I'm
Everything
like,
in the government's about money.
and when I realized that, I'm like, holy fuck.
Like I had a realization the other day. Do you know one of the few branches of government that actually turns a profit? Like one of the few things that the government does that actually turns a profit?
The USPS, well, they seem to
No,
not be
they don't
turning
turn a profit. Law enforcement. So defunding law enforcement would actually cost the government a fuck ton of money. They turn a revenue with their tickets and
It wouldn't cost the government a fuck ton of money. It would cost us a fuck ton of money.
Exactly. So, but one of the government services that actually turns a profit is law enforcement. So now that people are starting to realize that, that's why a lot of these defundings are
I don't think it actually turns a profit, dude, because we
No, it does.
spend.
Think about it. Parking tickets, traffic violations, the
That's
prison
local. That's
the
local.
US prison system is a for-profit organization.
I'm gonna stop you there. You probably don't have a lot of experience or knowledge on this topic. I don't want to do this tonight because it's late. We'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
It's no that wherever you read that or whatever. Okay, it's
They turn a profit off tax money, so
they don't, and that's an issue. So, but we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to talk about this anymore tonight. But remind me, and we'll talk about that, and I'll explain to you why that's not totally correct, and that's propaganda. Okay. So,
fair.
But yeah.
So,
oh Christ!
What? Do a gaming live stream?
Dude, go fucking play Fortnite, fucking clown kid. I'm about to fucking get rid of that. Oh. Again, the trolling meme culture shit. I was involved in it a long time ago, and it's fucking toxic. It's not good.
It's incredibly toxic.
It's a direct reflection on the degradation and horseshit fucking state of our society. Like, it's bad. It's not even fucking cool.
So, and there's plenty of other people out there that are live streaming video games. Go watch one of them.
Yeah.
Done deal.
If you're watching somebody live stream video games, what the fuck, man? Like, yeah.
I was like, why don't you just go play the game yourself? It's kind of like I never understood the people that like played the sports video games. Like, why don't you go outside and like play the game?
As we're fucking streaming on fucking YouTube.
Yeah, but like we're talking about stuff that's not. Well, to be fair, it's all information that people can find literally anywhere. But what do you do? Where do you get this mashup of food and politics and surplus and firearms and
Well,
audience interaction?
You could just do it hanging around with local people that have an IQ above fucking 50.
Well, this is America, Mike. Good luck. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
But at least you're sleeping better, right?
Yeah, I was trying to find a good song. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
I'm listening to Green Onions. You know that song?
No. I don't listen to too much music that's
you would know it if you heard it. You would know it if you heard it. And
it's one of those things? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those songs that was just kind of like they were fucking around and
made. Well, that's often how the best music is made. It's not one of the ones that people
this is worth it.
Time in.
No, this is worth it. And I'll tell you, I just learned the other day. I'll send it to you on Facebook.
Green onions. Oh, I've definitely heard that before, for sure. That's been in like every single movie ever at some point.
They literally were just fucking around.
Yeah.
That was like their B-side, whatever. They're just like filler.
Just garbage song that they're
Yep.
just like, yeah, we just like wrote it on the tour bus or something, and it ends up being like
Well,
the
no, it
hit.
wasn't even a tour bus. They wrote it in the studio. They didn't even write it. They just played it.
Just played a song, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, Steve Cropper, the guitarist in there, fucking legendary. They just went back and forth between the guitar and the organ.
Yeah.
And it's fucking amazing. It's just a simple song, and yeah, they don't feel like they actually drove places to like deliver it to radio stations.
Yeah.
Like Little Rock and like Mississippi, all that
Mhm.
shit. Like it's like, and then they played it. They were like getting phone calls, like, "Where do I buy this? Where do I buy this?" And then they got a record deal with a huge fucking record company.
Yep, over something they just wrote in the studio. And like you said, I've definitely heard that before.
Yeah, and it's a fucking great tune.
It is a great song. Yeah, well, a great tune. Yeah, there's no vocals to it, but for sure, that is fantastic. I like how you're like, you'll notice it the second you hear it, and like
That's what I mean. The second,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
it's one of those songs. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
fucking amazing. See, I was listening to that shit.
There you go. That's the kind of music I like. I like older stuff. Pretty much everything after like the 1970s is kind of a. There's a few things.
It's
here
hit
and
or
there.
miss.
Huh?
It's hit or miss.
Yeah. So Booker T and the MG's Green Onions. That's the song.
Well, and then the reason they named it that was Steve Cropper and Booker T, the guy that plays the organ, or not Booker T, I forgot his fucking real name, but he goes, well, what do we want to call it? We have to come up with something now because like we're gonna be selling this now.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I mean that shit's like, it wasn't good. It was like onions, man. It makes you cry.
Yeah.
It's fucking bad. He goes, well, I don't think it was that bad, and maybe like it's something that everybody wants in their house because apparently people like it. How about green onions?
Green onions, yep.
Because everybody uses green onions. Those are good. They don't make you cry. They're
No, I like green onions.
stinky.
I prefer green onions over like I love fucking onions in general, but all kinds of onions. I eat
and
onions
so they called the song Green Onions because they didn't have a name for it.
It's a fantastic song. Fantastic.
Oh, that's a great tune. It's just fucking groovy. It's fucking like
it's something just mellow that you can play when you're doing anything. So, having some heartburn there.
When you have heartburn, upset stomach, indigestion, diarrhea.
Well, I had like 5 sandwiches like an hour and a half ago. So
probably drink some apple cider vinegar. Get some stomach acid on there.
I'm having some coconut water.
It's gonna dilute it and make it worse.
I like coconut water though.
Yeah, when you have heartburn, drink some fucking apple cider vinegar.
I don't have any.
The real shit though. Get some. It's $5 for a huge bottle.
Yeah, but
I'm saying like when your body's like having that feeling, it's because it doesn't have enough acid to digest whatever the hell's in your stomach.
Yeah, well, I basically ate half a fucking loaf of bread and 5 sandwiches. So like, come on now.
Yep.
Yeah. So well, more than half a loaf of bread. I ate most of a loaf of bread, and so that doesn't surprise me. But it'll go away here. So before too long.
Yeah. Well, you want to call her?
I mean, we could get there pretty much. So.
Yeah, we've done an hour and 20. It's Friday night. It's late, and there's like 26 viewers.
Yeah, well, that's kind of low for Friday.
Yep, very low.
That's interesting.
It's probably because the double chin.
And then he freezes right there. That it's always the perfect time. Always the perfect time when you froze right as you grabbed your double chin. It's like it's always the perfect time. You always freeze doing something.
I know. Yeah. I did this, and then I went.
Oh no!
That's what I did.
Just like right here, like, just like
all of a sudden it fucking froze.
Yep. Oh god, that is fantastic. Oh man, every single time.
Never fucking fails.
No, it's always like a perfect time you freeze. You always freeze in the middle of a rant or like doing something absolutely perfect like that.
Do you want to go on Discord for a couple minutes, or?
Yeah, I could probably hang out for a little bit, but I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow, so I got to get up earlier and go to work. So not.
By the way, clowns, if you're a small person that wears this extra small, or medium, how much a Greek lizard camo in stock today?
I wear a medium. I've been meaning to get some of that.
It's brand new too. It's like
the Hellenic lizard camo. Yeah, I definitely need
good
some
shit. It's great shit.
I love that pattern so much.
Fuck yeah.
Lizard works like it works a lot of fucking places. So.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you probably on Monday unless something comes up.
I hope so.